welcome back. I'm Dallas. Thanks for coming along today again. I'm so excited to have you here. Today we are going to be talking about and learning about the color orange. Now, if you haven't gone over my videos about yellow and red, you don't get orange unless you have yellow and red. So go learn about those colors first. Those are really great exercises for getting color into your memory, making good associations and color relationships. We don't have a lot of time to chit chat before this today because we have a lot of work to do. I hope that you have a pen. I like a pigment liner, but you can also use a pencil. We're going to mix and label a lot today because I have questions. I have personal questions about my Hansa Yellow Light and my new gamboge, but I know that you have questions about whatever yellows you have and whatever reds you have mixing together. What do all of those make? Well, you're about to find out. But my first question to myself is, how does magenta react with Hansa Yellow Light? And can I even just make a warm yellow by adding a little bit of magenta to my Hansa Yellow Light? So if you look down at my paper, I've actually already done this. Here is my Hansa Yellow Light, and I gave it a rating of about 0.25. Now that means something to me, and you can have your own way of telling you a recipe or a ratio of how much yellow and how much magenta you put into something. So this was my approximation, and it ended up being a nice warm yellow. So I wanted to put it against my new gamboge to see if I hit it about right. Well, new gamboge is still slightly yellower, so I could have used even less magenta, but that was just my own exercise. And for you to know, if you have a magenta, or if you ever want to get a magenta, that you can just simply make a warm yellow from the very basic primary magenta, yellow, and cyan colors. What we're going to do is, your paper will look a lot like this. And if you want to do even more, I would say have 2 pieces of paper out and ready on your table for you to make recipes today. That's what we'll be doing. Okay, now that I've answered my question about Hansa and magenta, I'm going to move on. We are going to mix this Hansa Yellow Light with my Pyrrole Red. Here's my Pyrrole Red. And remember that red is pretty overpowering and you don't know how much it makes yet. So you're just going to want to add it very gradually. Okay, so we have a pretty nice color here. And don't make my mistake of mixing all these colors, having lots of fun, but then totally forgetting to label what you just made. So I'm going to label that Hansa Yellow Light, and I have a little abbreviation for it, HYL, plus that was Pyrrole Red. Good to know. Okay, setting that off to the side, rinsing my brush out. Same thing, same yellow, different red. Here's my yellow, Hansa Yellow Light. I want to see what it does with vermilion. So I'm going to go over to my vermilion and put it here. And you don't need 3 palettes, of course, but because I already have things in places here and I have my own setup, that's what I'm doing. So look how much that vermilion overpowered, totally overpowered that yellow. Okay, I think we've made a good orange here. This is like, ooh, this reminds me of just like your basic Halloween orange, candy bucket orange. I'm making associations without even realizing it. You can think those things to yourself as you do this. So that was Hansa Yellow Light plus vermilion. With every addition of water, you're knocking down the value and it's becoming a lighter value of this hue. So there's all those oranges that you can make as well. Let's try baby wipes to clean your palette out. I really recommend, as you're learning about color, to keep things as clean as possible so that you're not accidentally giving yourself false hope about a color because there was color left in the bottom of a palette and you didn't know it. Or color left in a brush, for that matter, is just as irritating. Okay, so I've got a little more room now and I can do that well as well. Okay, I want to try Hansa Yellow Light again, right here in the middle. And I want to try my Pyrrole Orange, because that's my other warmish red in some contexts. So we'll do that right here. Oh, that's a really, ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Put a teeny more bit of water in it. Ooh, that's a nice color. I like that a lot. So that was Hansa Yellow Light plus a little bit of Pyrrole Orange. Okay, burnt sienna. There you are. Okay, interesting. It made it look like fox fur. I thought it would be a little brighter than that, having added the yellow. So, like I said, you guys, I'm learning things about color here too. Burnt sienna plus Hansa Yellow Light. I have not put crimson into the Hansa yet, so I will do that next. I'm gonna grab yellow first, put it in this little well, and then I'll grab the crimson. All right. Oh, interesting. It's kind of muted. I'll knock it back a little bit. I could pull it down more to just start playing with the value range that it has. This is Hansa Yellow Light plus crimson, and this is the same. Full saturation and then half saturation. Your paper might have lots of arrows and things on it too. Okay, so here's what we have done. This is my helper. We've done yellow. We've met the color orange today. We have already met red, and we've played a little bit with magenta. And so we're really working with colors in this range. Now, before I get to your homework, I want to tell you about complementary colors. And really, I want to just go over the one that applies to you today, the complement to orange. So as you look at your color wheel, anything on the very opposite side of your key color here, which is orange, you'll look to the opposite color, and that is, this one says cyan blue, but we're just going to say blue. Blue is the complement to orange, and green is the complement to magenta. This green is the complement to purple, so on and so forth. What I want you to do today as your homework is I want you to get an orange piece of produce from your house or your garden. And so you might have a carrot, you might have a tomato, you might have a bell pepper, any piece of produce that is orange. And I want you today to try to color match. Now that your color horizons are expanding and you know a little bit more about what you're working with, and I want you to grab that object, be in a nice part of your house that has full sun coming in the window, like just natural light, and then I want you to mix your oranges accordingly to match that color. If you think about, okay, let's say the shadow of the orange bell pepper has kind of a muted green sense to it. Well, the reason why I talked to you about the complement color of orange is that oftentimes in those objects, the complementary color is making the shadows. So I want you to use blue to mix with your orange to introduce the idea of complementary colors, but also to show you that you can use it for shadows. When you look at a shadow of an object, oftentimes it's dark purple, dark blue, green, sometimes shadows can be red. It all depends on the lighting situation of the room, the other colors that are around it kind of refracting off of the edges. So look at that bell pepper in whatever situation you have it in, mix your colors accordingly, but I want you to be really particular about your color of shadow that you see on it. I really liked this orange that I made here. So I'll just add a little smidgen of blue to this and show you that it can make a complementing shadow color. And color is all about ratio. So if there's more red in something, it will appear more red. If there's more yellow in something, it's going to swing green. If there's more cyan in something, it'll swing purple or blue. So it's really amazing what you can do with color. All right, that is our work for today. I want you to spend as much time on this as you want. You may have more yellows and reds to work with. See how many different shades of orange you can get, and make sure to label. And then I want you to do the object, the produce, and then think about the color complement to orange, which is blue. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Yes, choose the level of assignment from this video that is right for you. And as you're drawing, I want you to think, and think carefully, what is that exact shape of that orange piece? What is the exact shape of the light piece that's glinting off of the piece of your produce? What exact shape is the color of the shadow? This type of eye training takes time and practice, so I encourage you, you don't need to move on to the next color video until you have a really good grasp on seeing shapes. And if you do feel like you really are struggling to see shapes, do remember that I have 2 other video courses, and you can find out all the information about those on my website at bestowingthebrush.com. Remember that we are all a work in progress, and every single drawing that you do will get you further along, so don't be afraid to use more paper. All right, after you do these orange color exercise videos, the next video that you will watch is the color blue.